Hello everyone, I am B.Mathanachandiran. Now I am going to discuss about on a non-doctrinal project regarding a study on livelihood of Sri Lankan refugees living in the campus of Tamil Nadu. Actually, I had been collected a data from Dharmaburi district from three camps. Actually, in my project, I had been made 5 chapters. Chapter 1 deals about introduction. Chapter 2 deals about research methodology. Chapter 3 deals about analysis and interpretation of data. And chapter 4 speaks about major findings, then recommendations. So, moving on to refugee. Actually, the refugee is the main problem regarding their livelihood facing around the world. According to United Nations High Commission of Refugees, 100 billion people has been displaced from one place to another. There is no special legislation regarding the refugee law, but Passport Act, Foreigners Act, these are the acts that are supporting regarding the refugees. The objectives of my research is that study on livelihood of Sri Lankan refugees living in Tamil Nadu, their personal and social consequence of livelihood, and understanding the relationship between the livelihood and their livelihood assessment matrix. So, moving on to the chapter 2, need of study. Why we have to study is that very few efforts have been taken for livelihood of refugees. Need to highlight importance of livelihood of refugees in international aspect. Also need to understand what many of the peoples are becoming a refugees. The main problem is that India is not a signatory in 1951 convention because of absence of refugee law. The objective of my research is that study on livelihood of Sri Lankan refugees in Tamil Nadu. Understanding the factors influencing the livelihood, understanding the relationship between livelihood and quality of their life is my objective. So a hypothesis I framed is that increased livelihood opportunities for better quality of life for refugees. Education is not likely associated with their livelihood. A better livelihood should be associated with better economic status. So the area of the study I have been focused upon 3 camps in Dharmaburi district. The sources of data I collected from primary information, books, journals, and from website. So livelihood assessment matrix I had been dealt upon 5 components: physical, social, natural, economical, and human. These are the 5 aspects I had been concentrated. Maximum score I had been given 20 and least score I had been given 5. The data analysis I had been used as a software for statistical package for social work. The qualitative research software is NVO Atlas-T I had been used. So, limitation of the study is that organization of EM refugee rehabilitation used random sampling method in Dharmaburi. So, moving on to the chapter 3, analysis and interpretation of data. 3 Sri Lankan refugee camps from Dharmaburi analyzed and interpreted. First part is profile of the camp. Second part is quantitative data, that is SPSS software. Third part is qualitative analysis, livelihood strategies for refugees from. Fourth part is livelihood matrix. Profile of the camp study is that 4 camps from Dharmaburi, the data had been collected using the observation guide, transect and walk technique method had been used. The quantitative analysis, education, occupation, job, self-employment, food subsidies, livelihood scores, and cross-tabulated with personal variables. The livelihood issues and qualitative analysis is that stories, interviewing, focus upon the group discussion, observation guide, and field notes had been highly noted. The livelihood matrix is got from social domain, economic domain, physical domain, natural domain, and human domain. The methodology I had been taken from 35 respondents at 5 from 3 camps. 5 volunteers participated in group discussions, answered for the matrix. The total livelihood percentage I had been calculated is 63%. The major findings in chapter 4 is dealt about is that mainly focusing upon education, occupation, health, income, and livelihood strategies. The education, 40% of the respondent completed their education. In occupation, 72% working in unskilled manner. Regarding the health, 63% went hospital regarding for their treatment. Regarding the income, men income was 1926 with standard deviation of rupees 1572. Moving on to livelihood strategies, received humanitarian assistance, acquiring new jobs, collaborative cooking, engaging in jobs and trades, etc. So moving on to chapter 5, recommendation and conclusion of my research is that the social capital should be improved and strengthening the relationship should be maintained in our society. Also, youth and social relations should be improved and maintained. The right of freedom of movement as mentioned in our constitution should be given as a full fundamental right to them. So moving on to a conclusion part, the improvement in education should be given more and more for the refugees. The Tamil Nadu, our government, our chief minister Thiru M.K. Stalin have been focused upon the refugee regarding their rehabilitation and restitution. All the measures have been taken by him. I have to appreciate for that. Recently also our chief minister met prime minister regarding the Sri Lankan refugees and Sri Lankan people livelihood should be given help by central government as well as a state government. So I would like to conclude by saying the restitution and rehabilitation is always mandatory for the refugees for restoration of their life. Thank you for watching.